we have a quorum tonight. There's 5 of us here out of 9. So we'll call the meeting to order at 6:33. And I need a motion for the acceptance or non-acceptance of the agenda for tonight.
So moved.
I'll second that.
It's been moved and seconded that we accept the agenda. All those in favor? 5-0-0. Okay, next on the agenda is review questions for the visioning meetings. Does everyone have that packet of email that I received from Vicki? But do you have all that email that I received from Vicki at EMBC?
I got, you mean this stuff? The poll questions?
The questions, yeah, and her,
Poll everywhere questions I got an agenda and
Poster.
the poster, I
a
think.
poster that I printed out and
That's it, isn't it?
agenda.
And then
What I don't have is anything on but I didn't print out anything on the responses to the questions. Oh, the poll responses that you got there.
Those?
Oh, and I didn't, there's 35 of them there. I just set them in
Okay.
here so you folks can look at them at your
Okay.
leisure or whatever you want to do. And then, but did you get the email that I sent with a response to the district high school meetings?
Yes.
Okay, all right, so you,
I didn't print that, I got that
okay,
email.
let me print that out.
I actually got in and read your emails. I
Really?
selectively went through my
Took
email
me
the
out?
other day. It's a good thing I got in yesterday, because that's how I found out there was a meeting tonight. I've been sealing the interior walls on my basement, so I've been breathing oil paint fumes for the last couple of
No wonder you're acting a little funny, huh?
killed a few brain cells. I may be acting just a little weird. I got a respirator to help out, but I take it off when I go upstairs and it's like a little glue sniffing.
And, I'm sorry, do you folks have what we decided to use for the,
With,
do you have that one? If not, let me print a couple of these out. This is what we decided in, was it?
Yeah, I have one.
Do you?
the changes that we wanted made.
Right, 2 meetings ago, I think.
She made none of them.
And she made none of them?
No,
Not in my mind.
she sent us back the same thing that we started with.
Well, I think it's worse. Number 15 is awful.
Is that what this is? Yeah, okay, here we are. Yeah.
Too long for one thing.
That's 16, pretty poor too.
I'm gonna get rid of 15.
There's nothing visionary about those questions. Not a thing. She ignored everything and George was trying to tell her.
There's 3 copies there. Anybody needs it. Okay, so I guess my question is, where do you want to go? What do you want to do?
Who said they already had it?
I've got
Somebody must have said it. I think I have
Okay.
one.
I've got one.
You got one, Todd?
I'll put them over.
Okay. I have only thing I have on my notes of what we did.
If we want to skip, if everybody's okay with to 14, we'll skip to 15,
Well,
which I have a problem with.
Well, I've got questions that start at number 1.
Yeah, I do too.
Because according to my notes, we said we were going to delete number 1.
Yeah. Yes, that's right.
We said we'd only use that in the poll everywhere meeting. I think, because you have to input your name so it appears on the screen with your answers. Your first name, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah, I was gonna say, I thought last week
Wasn't
when
it-
we played with it, you put in just your first name, or you
Right.
could put in Mickey Mouse if you wanted
Yeah.
to. You had to put something in,
Yeah,
so you could log in.
that's the only reason. I think we put used only in poll everywhere meeting,
Yeah,
in parentheses.
we're not using it anywhere else. And she did add that.
And
No, she didn't add that, did she?
No, she
No, she
didn't.
didn't add that.
she didn't say anything, they didn't do anything about quality of life in number 5.
Right, we said, please define quality of life.
Mhm.
And that's a,
And
I
then,
thought we came up with a different term for that.
for what?
Quality of life. Something else to use other than, and maybe it was in that other set of questions.
I don't remember coming up with anything else, but
What I did, folks, to make that up was I reviewed the video. And I think I caught everything.
yeah,
could have made a
had just written
mistake, but-
yeah, I had just written define, you know, quality of life.
Yeah, I had that. too.
Maybe
I
that's
thought-
why it became facilitator. Well,
What if that's something people do themselves? They have, everybody sort of has their own definition as to what that means.
Probably, but wouldn't that be different? Wouldn't you answer the question to your, whereas if she defined it, then we're answering the question, everybody's answering the
to the same
Yeah,
definition.
right, right,
And
right.
I think that was why we thought we needed
I
a
think you're right.
definition.
Yeah. And then number 6, Faith, I think you said,
Yeah, industry
doesn't make it anymore.
doesn't make it, and it still says what industry.
Right.
Yeah, remember-
Folks, what do you want me to do? Write her back and say, these are definitely the questions, not the questions you gave us?
Yeah, the ones we refined tonight, those are the ones we ought to be,
Right.
We'll do this and send it to her.
Yeah,
That's it.
And
She
in-
better not change it either.
In 8, she's still talking about branding and marketing, which nobody understands
right.
what that means.
we did away with the branding aspect, we had that
Yes,
crossed
we-
out, yeah,
Yeah, we had changed that.
whatever that means. I think I'm out in the west.
And 10, it's originally said, does the town of Searsport provide, and we changed it to, is there enough affordable housing, and I don't think that changed it. No, it still says, does the town of Searsport provide?
We don't provide any
We don't provide.
job, is it?
Privately
The
owned.
town does
Right.
not provide. I think we wanted it to say,
And
is
I don't
there
think they meant
enough?
the town, but the Searsport in its, somehow in its whole completeness, is there enough
Yeah, is
opportunity
there
for
enough?
affordable housing?
That's the
Yeah,
question.
that's
Is
why
there
we
enough?
put,
Yeah, but
Is
we
there
should be
enough?
precise. It sounds like we provide.
Yeah.
Are
We-
we
We
all-
we
added
don't.
the word town in number 11, which
The
is
better
there.
question is there, in your opinion, is there enough affordable housing in Searsport? That covers it.
Yeah, I don't think we
It is
need
all
to
opinion.
necessarily preface it with, in your opinion, because
No,
that's what we're
that's true.
asking for.
That's true.
I mean, we're asking for their opinion,
Right.
so,
No,
um,
so
No,
as far
no.
as I understand it, through 10, we'll go with what we decided.
yes.
well, actually through 11, right?
Oh, it does 11. How do you feel
What-
about, no, we
Quality
said
of
town roads.
We said town roads.
Yes, we said town roads to
So
differentiate from
far,
the state highways.
I like the one that you handed out because it's consistent with what we discussed last time,
Mm-hmm.
and this one doesn't reflect any of the changes that we made.
Okay, so through 11.
And now it's,
Go back and look at 12. Safety of intersections was all right. Quality public services, that's all right. 14, we had changed,
Right.
thought we had got rid of Mojo.
So we'll go with everything through 14 that we originally discussed.
Yeah, I think that's,
In the way I put it down there.
yes, that's the way I think it needs to be.
Okay, then, do you folks remember that I didn't go along with what she had said about a couple things that were in the visioning statement from the state, natural and cultural resources resource conservation, land use and its role in the region, is what I understood the state wanted in their visioning statement. And remember, we said she didn't cover that.
Well, I think it's plain as day. It says that, and she did not cover it.
All right.
And this list we have now doesn't cover that either, right?
I think that's what she's trying to do in,
15?
well,
Okay.
more or less 16, 17, and 18, but I'll make a copy of that for you folks. Don't have.
I would stay away from that question 16.
Yeah, I
Completely.
don't think that's a question that people understand,
Well, I didn't understand it.
you know, and
Do you? I don't even know what she's trying to say.
I don't know what she's looking for. I mean,
I would just delete that.
Yeah.
But however,
Wait,
we have to
let's-
deal
let's-
with George's point. We have to do something, but this does not this doesn't address that.
Okay, that's my scribbling
yeah,
in there,
that's
but,
okay.
but if you look at that, I think I gave you a copy, maybe I did.
I got it.
But that's, to my understanding, the latest instructions from the state and what they want. Oh, and I might as well tell you, if you remember last meeting, she gave out a maps and a disc to me and said, here, you know, this is, well, we already had the maps, which I ordered a year ago. The disc she gave me was for Hampton, it wasn't for us. So, just let you know what
We're paying for.
right. I'm sorry, go ahead, whatever you were talking.
We were talking about 16, do you feel that land development patterns in Searsport make sense and should they continue as they are? And whether people will understand what that means, because we're not sure we understand what it means.
I would delete it. But I have a big problem with 50,
Yeah,
as we discussed this afternoon, George.
16, if you look on that number one, the required elements, does say land use patterns.
Well, I'm not disagreeing with that.
No, I'm just saying how to phrase that.
Yeah, I see. Yeah, I see where you're seeing that is.
I just don't understand anything about this question.
Well, okay, you want to go back to 15, there seems to be a little problem with 15. You might as well take them as they
All
come.
right, Doug, tell me what your problem is with it, because I'm not sure I'm following what you're saying.
The rating of services.
And,
Oh, I think we'll just. Well, I'm not sure how to word this. I worded it this afternoon, didn't I, George?
I don't know how any of that.
It
pertains-
doesn't pertain to anything having to do with the comp plan that I'm aware of.
well, I think the the last column,
But this isn't a critique on the town. Comp plan isn't a critique.
No, but
This is a critique.
but I think more checks in that last column needs future attention, would give us direction about, I mean, would give us,
No, well,
would tell
there's a
us how
bigger
people
problem.
think we should be moving.
You're talking about animal control. We have an animal control officer. We can't get personal about these things. Code officer, code enforcement.
So
These
you
are.
think people would look at this as look at the person, not at the
Oh,
department?
absolutely.
Well,
I don't think you get a reading of the department. You know, I think it would be, I don't understand why we're doing a critique of, on the comp plan. We can do a critique of the town if we want to, in every department thereof.
I guess.
But this isn't this isn't appropriate for a comp plan in my mind.
Now, in my mind, Doug, in terms of establishing a vision, I don't think the rating thing is what you want to be doing. Because we're trying to get together in this data gathering situation. We're trying to get people to say, this is what a vision of what the town should look like. Okay?
This has nothing to do with
There's
it.
nothing visionary about that.
Well, wait a minute. There's nothing visionary about rating it.
That's right.
But if I asked you the question, what's your vision of what police protection should look like? Don't think about what you got. What in your mind do you want for police protection? What do you want for fire protection?
So
Okay?
so the problem comes then, how do we ask that question in a survey?
But the
That's
thing
right.
is, the comp plan has nothing to do with what you want as far as police protection.
The
It's
vision-
not involved at all in the comp.
That's correct.
That's
You
correct.
can't,
should-
suppose you want 16 million police officers in Searsport. There's no place in the comp plan or the land use ordinance that you could even put that
So the comp,
request.
well, the comp plan, we're talking in the comp plan about the type of businesses we should have in the town, the type of roads we should have in the town. We should be talking also about the type of municipal services that people expect to have. Because now, and that's,
I didn't
are
see,
they part of your expectations?
but I didn't see anything in any of the criteria for this comp plan from the state that said anything about that at all.
And maybe I'm critiquing the state's idea of what needs to be in a comp plan, because that is equally as important as the type of businesses and things like that that you have in the town. The type of schools, the type of services. But, you know, you could be a whole lot more general than this, and besides which you don't want the whole idea about going out and rating things like this. Do you expect to have fire protection? You're gonna get some people up on the lake that say no. You're gonna get some people that live up there in houses that they spend a lot of money for that says, you betcha. But they don't, but to say, is it satisfactory? This survey in this question 15 might at some time be useful to gather information, but not for the comp plan.
Exactly.
Exactly.
It might be useful for the Board of Selectmen, people like that, when we're sitting down and starting to do budgeting, okay, knowing what the people expect for police protection, fire protection, because in the departments, we make budget proposals based on what we believe the need is, and the Board of Selectmen and the Budget Advisory Committee look at that and say, okay, this is what we say the need is, this is what we say the cost is, and they say yes or no, and we could take it before the town meeting, and they, but that's not
That's not really the process we do, but there is restraints. That's not a vision. That's a restraint, and we may want 5 police officers, but there's no way the money's there to do that. Secondly, my other point would be, if we make this too long, nobody's going to do it. It should not be over 2 pages, in my
Well, but
mind.
we're talking about the public meeting now, and
Yeah, but
You don't want to get
You don't wanna,
How do you take care of that in any kind of a meeting, that big checklist with all those varying degrees? That's baloney.
No.
Just get one general question about this stuff and,
services.
yeah.
And what I would,
So you've got a group of people at a meeting, and you ask them a general question. What do you think needs to happen for economic development? Let's say that's one of the things on the state's, you know. Somebody has got to be prepared to take in, if there's 40 people there, maybe 40 different opinions, and then deal with them somehow. I can't think through in my head how that's going to happen and give us any information that's going to be worth anything.
well, there are ways you can do that in
Well,
public
tell me how,
meetings,
because I'm
and
struggling with trying to figure out how that could.
the type of things that you do, but it does take a facilitated process where you give
Well,
people,
we're going to pay a facilitator to do
Yeah,
this. We need
okay.
to tell her what we want her to do.
the problem in the type of meeting, well, it depends on how many people show up for the meetings. We've talked about this before, in the types of meetings where I've gone out to get that kind of information. You ask the questions and you give people to list their top 3 things or whatever, and then you bin them and
Okay, well, you
process
just
them.
said something now that makes sense, maybe. The top 3.
Okay,
If you
What-
said, what are your top 3 things, then you're going to get some
and then,
cohesiveness in people's thinking. I
Yeah.
mean, they aren't gonna
Okay.
come up with 40 times 3 different things. 40 people are going to come up with some commonality
You
of
might.
things.
basically what happens when you do that, and you put it out to 40 people, and we did it with 3,000 or 4,000 employees at a company, and we said, okay, what are your top 3 things that we think we do well? What are your top 3 things that you think we could improve on in the way we do business as a town? That's the way I would kind of ask the question and have everybody, give everybody a mechanism to write down their top 3 things they think we do well on. And this is just in terms of municipal services. And then the top,
Well, I'll go back to the things that the state wants, the economic development, resources, conservation, land use, so on.
okay,
Stay away from municipal services altogether.
Absolutely.
Personally, I think everything in this, we should not do any of these.
Nope.
That are in here.
I'm agreeing with you now that
I mean-
I'm here.
It's good information for somebody maybe.
It's gonna produce negativity.
Yeah.
People that, this is Searsport, people that say, if you, it'll be personal to some extent, not to all extent. But people that think someone's doing a good job, or Randy, for instance, fine, they might make a good comment. They don't think we're not gonna get anything out of this anyway.
no, this.
And it's too detailed. When you do a plan, it isn't in this much
Not to
detail.
pick on Bill, but local tax level.
Yeah, really.
Everybody knows what you're gonna put down.
All of these can lead to some pretty good tax levels if you're not careful.
Yeah,
You know.
okay, now,
All right, so
I
if you get rid of
think we're all,
these, what
I
do
think
we
we're all in
use?
agreement
Dump that all together.
that this.
Okay, but then what do we use? That's
No.
our
Oh, we
challenge.
got- we gotta
I have a
address.
suggestion,
Okay,
because I'm looking at this list, like you're saying, what needs to be in the vision statement. Where in this list of questions that we have we asked people, what is Searsport's role in the region?
I don't think we have we?
I don't
No.
see it,
We haven't.
and that's what I would like to see in that question 15. We're gonna take that out, I think we should. Branding, and we've talked about how we got to fix all these other questions. But I'd
We
like
didn't
to
deal
see-
with transportation. There's nothing in here about transportation.
No, we,
Well,
didn't we put that
we-
in our questions?
Yeah, we did.
We put that in 7, Doug,
Oh,
yeah.
7M, I think.
Shipping, transportation, fishing.
Yeah, we had a big discussion
See?
on that.
professional services, public employment, professional services, shipping, transportation, fishing. We said put those questions in the top 3 industries that we figure people will create new jobs in Searsport. You
That
read-
kinda doesn't fit in with what you and I were talking about this afternoon.
No. But
Which has more to do with vision than,
Yeah.
it might be more what they are asking.
this is a question that'll get something we can put in the visionary statement. What I'd like to see, and maybe there's something else in there, but in this, I agree with all the rest of you. Question 15 is not
Okay,
part of the vision.
15's out.
15 is out, and
Okay, fine.
and it ought to be replaced with something that, and I don't know how to, whether to put in suggestion areas, or if this is in the meeting thing, a question that goes after, what do you believe Searsport's role in the mid-coast or in this region within, a regional type question? Okay, are we a fishing village? Are we a transportation center? Are we a manufacturing center? Are we a tourist center? Are,
Okay.
So you're talking about the region's
Just,
economy?
why don't you hold that thought?
Okay.
Why don't we go to 16? And what do you think about that? The state wants land use patterns, and I don't know how
Yeah, that's
to
what
go with
yeah.
that. I think this 16 is her attempt at that.
Maybe just do away with and should continue as they are. Just drop that off. Just say, maybe, and that may, I don't know, do you understand, do you feel the land development patterns Searsport make sense or are working? Something like that.
Now, here, that's a question, I'm not sure we need to somehow get, George, I would like to see this question 16 related to the question that I just talked about the vision for the town in the region. Okay. Wait, hang on, Doug, let me finish explaining what I'm talking about, and then you can,
We gotta deal with the land use.
no,
I don't care if you include what you're doing, but
no,
this is her attempt at dealing with
yeah.
the visionary
No,
land
Hang,
use.
hang on just a second. We get people to talk about, first, about what their vision for what the role in the region is. And then we say, do the land use development patterns in the town of Searsport support our role in the region? You understand what I'm saying?
But I think they need to support our vision for the future.
That's
as
right.
As well as our role
Yes.
in the region. It's two
Yes,
different things.
Yes, and how well do you believe that our land use patterns support our vision for the future? And we're trying to develop the vision for the future. It's kind of hard
Right, then
to,
maybe
it's kind of hard to answer that question until we have the vision
This is for the
statement.
public, this is not worded anywhere near correctly.
Yeah.
This is not for Joe down the street.
So
You're right.
if we made 16 say, do you feel the land development patterns in Searsport support your vision of the future?
That would be
Good
better.
question. That's a good way.
I
Yeah.
like,
And it's yes or no.
you're good with words, Faith.
She's a teacher.
And I think, and I think Bill's right, and then should they continue is irrelevant, that's,
Yeah,
but I think if we change 16 to say, do you feel the land development patterns in Searsport support your vision of the future of our town or of Searsport?
That's perfect.
that's good.
And does that address that land use thing?
I would think that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it sure
good.
does.
Okay,
Do-
and
do you-
then, I
My
don't,
only question, do you think everybody knows what land use what the patterns would be?
I was thinking about
wondering
putting
if we
something in
could-
parentheses.
Well, or if we could interpret that somehow into, I mean, what does land development
Do you want to
patterns
say
mean?
zoning?
Well,
That's what it is. You wanna bring out that Z word again?
that code over there is not quite bright enough as the flag would be if you put that Z word in there. Sure. I like it the way Faith has worded it.
Okay, you want
Because-
to leave it at
because-
plain development
Because
patterns?
we're talking about
If we-
land development patterns. We're not talking about the land use ordinance.
That's right.
We're not talking about the planning
I think people can
boards,
understand
things like that.
pattern.
In other
Okay.
words,
Yeah.
All right, we'll do it that
the
way.
way you
Okay.
implement all of that kind of stuff.
Okay, we'll do it that way.
All right, and then I think, I hang on to Bud's thought of, you know, some question about, do you feel that whatever supports Searsport's role in the region's economy?
Yeah, actually, what I would like to see is the question that comes before this one is,
What is the role? What do you
what
see
is
the
the
role to
role?
be? Yeah.
Is what's your vision of Searsport's role in the region?
Yes.
What do you
It's not
see
clear right now. That's a good question.
As
right.
Searsport's role in the region's economy?
There are at least,
Make that 15,
yeah,
and then keep 16 numbered the way it is.
keep 16 numbered the way it is, but with your wording,
How do you want to, what is your vision of Searsport's role?
In the region's
in the
economy.
region. Like that one that you brought up, that's, what's the town that's down just this side of the one, Booth, it's one of those vision statements you sent out to.
Oh, okay, yeah,
You know what I mean? The one that's a bedroom community for Portland,
right.
you know? We're a bedroom community for Portland, you know?
Okay,
Well, we're not, we're a little too far away to do
So it's a
that,
long commute.
all right, let's go with 15 with that then, and,
you know?
And keep
Yeah.
16 numbered as 16.
right,
And 17, I think makes sense, a natural resource is sufficiently supported by local policies and authorities.
right.
To me, that makes sense, I mean,
Well, I'm not on the
What's the
same
matter, Doug?
page.
Huh?
Whose authority? What does that mean to people?
and
Support.
just hit
Policies.
local
po-
policies,
hey,
period.
Why don't we
then.
just say
I'd
this?
leave out authorities, because I don't know what that means.
Why don't we say, put it this way, policies and practices?
That's, thank you.
That's a good word,
Authorities don't, that could mean a lot of things.
yeah.
Do you want to put ordinances in there anyway?
Yes, yeah.
Maybe the word
Well, that,
policy
maybe
should
they
be
be covered under
ordinances.
practices.
Well,
That,
maybe
that would mean
policy should
ordinances
be
and all those
ordinances.
things, I guess.
Practices
Because
is,
we have ordinances, not policies.
Otherwise-
That's right.
You know-
Policies are just,
our ordinances guide practices, and sometimes we comply with them and some people don't.
Should policies be ordinances?
I think it should be, we have ordinances, not policies.
Yeah, but
That's right.
this isn't about ordinances now, it's about a vision,
Yeah.
you know?
It's not a
So
vision.
just let the practices cover all that subject.
Okay.
Policies
Right or
and
wrong.
practices,
but
then you don't.
general would be better, yeah.
All right,
So don't change policies to ordinances.
and just leave out authority.
Yeah,
Okay.
So
And
just,
change the word to practices, or just say
no, just say policies and practices.
policy, that's what I'm saying. We're gonna get rid of
Policies and
authorities and
practices,
put the
'cause-
word practices in there. All right, I could agree with that.
Doug, is that okay with you?
Yes, that's fine.
And
I
would do
just
the
had a
sa-
problem with
I would do the
policy.
same thing with
In the
and
eight.
this again, this is the poll anywhere quiz we're doing here.
Yes,
Is somebody gonna explain that to the high school kids if they don't really understand what we mean by practices? So somebody be able, they're there to do that for them.
The
George.
Will the facilitator be able to
no,
do
we've
that?
got a facilitator.
Probably
that's
not, but I think one of us will be there, if not
Okay.
more.
Yeah,
Can I make a comment here about the facilitator? She better be here and be on the same page with us, because tonight and today proved to me that she's not quite, after the last meeting. I'm not getting it. And she works for us.
Well, I'll just send her
In
a
town of
note
Searsport.
and tell her these are the questions.
Because these are important things.
Yeah.
And she needs to be there. She needs to be prepared to answer questions that we are now doing. So be prepared for her.
No, we can have.
I'm getting a little nervous about this.
Suppose I send her a copy and just say, these are the questions we want, and poll everywhere. And then schedule for a meeting with us prior to,
Do we have a
Others.
date for the school meeting?
no, I haven't gotten a
Oh.
date. He wants to do it, and you probably know better. He was talking about some type of Teacher's Day. or
19th and
something like
20th.
Yeah,
that. And then in the afternoon, have this meeting with the juniors and seniors. And he hasn't given me a date, okay?
but on those parent-teacher conference days, the kids are not there.
No, that's fine. All I thought we'd do is give out those surveys at the door on those days to the parents.
So that's not our meeting with.
No,
the
no,
kids.
No, that
Okay.
won't be the.
That's
So
not part of the
that's-
tech meeting,
No.
no.
When I
That's
saw
good.
this,
Yeah.
okay.
So we literally don't,
Now I have one more question.
and time's running out.
I do too.
19, are there other issues? Open Pandora's box, will be there,
I think it's a good question to ask though, regardless
you do.
of Pandora.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, I don't, I don't think it, visions can be very Pandoric. And, so I don't think that matters. I think you ought to have that opportunity there.
And
Okay, can we go back? What do you think of 18?
You gotta get rid of the authorities there too,
We're
I
gonna
think.
change,
Don't you think?
yeah, I think
I
we
think
say
18 was
policies
the
and
same, the
practices.
same changes that we made in 17. Okay.
Policies and,
And
Policies and
practices.
practices.
wait a minute, you're leaving policies in, right?
Leave policies in and just change authorities to practices.
Okay.
Because authorities tends to point at, as we said before, at people
Big
in
brother.
authority and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And practices just says a policy.
This is what we do.
This is what we do, basically what
And
it
it's
says.
also a catch-all.
It's,
Yeah.
yeah, but
It's a catch-all
But it's a
phrase.
generic term, practices is, doesn't matter who's doing it, it's,
It's what it is.
it's what we've been doing. Have we been doing the right thing?
I agree with Faith on
19?
19, but
No, I
I'm
don't know.
willing
I
to
think
go
it'll
along with
change
it,
my
but,
mind. Yeah, no,
I
I see
think
what
it'll be
Bill's saying,
interesting.
and
And
we're opening up a box, but that's
Yeah,
okay, I guess.
but
now,
I hear what Bill's saying, and I think that's a good point, that we're really looking for people to do some visioning for us. And that's
Yeah.
a perfect question to ask it, so I agree with Bill, I think.
and now one of the
We might get
roles,
some good
one of the
answers there.
roles of the facilitator is to focus on issues, not on individual activities. See, some people, an issue means, to a small-minded person, an issue could be, my issue is, you're not plowing my road in the summertime, okay? But the bigger issue is, do we have sufficient road maintenance in the wintertime?
Yeah. That's the reason I think we should have a meeting with her after I send her a note that these are the only questions we want.
And I think, my opinion is that she was trying to come up with something that she could have them answer on their little doodly machines and
Yeah.
appear on a big screen and
Right.
so forth, and that isn't gonna work in the other 3 meetings where people don't have their little magic boxes.
Well,
I think that just opens a Pandora's box.
well, the thing,
Those questions.
I don't want
But we
this to
don't
turn from 15 and what she did here, which was not what we asked her to do. And if you could talk to her, George, before, I think we need to make it plain that we don't want this to be, it's not a complaint about what is.
It's not a bitch session.
No,
These
not.
questions were asking for that, in my opinion. That's why I was so against it. And it's more about the future than the present. We can,
Sure.
they can come and complain about the present right now, and they don't need us to do that, and they don't need a comp plan to do that. So I'm worried that she's kind of mired in this. Whether she means to be or not, the question seemed to me to be more about the present and what is, and opening up a box, so to speak, of people complaining about it, and we can get enough of those. That's not what we're looking for.
You get those without even asking, don't you, Doug?
Is everyone kind of satisfied with what we've just done?
Yes.
Yeah.
I am,
All right. Then, is it all right if I send her a note saying these are the questions?
Yes.
I think we should vote on it, George,
Okay.
to make it official.
All right.
I move that you send her a correspondence stating that these are our questions that we want answered. And we expect her as a facilitator to do the best she can to get answers to them.
And I'll second that.
All right, it's been moved in second. All those in favor? It's like a 5-0. Okay, does that kind of put that part of the agenda to bed temporarily?
Hope so.
Okay.
now, I have one question on this. These, it says poll everywhere questions, so these would be basically the questions that we're going to cover in whatever forum,
In all four
in all
meetings.
4 meeting forums that we have.
That's what I'd like.
Yes, and I think
That's-
it's important
okay.
that they be the same in all 4.
Absolutely.
Absolutely,
Because you didn't ask me that in the other
Yeah.
meeting.
that's right.
Yeah, no, I agree with you 100%.
You know, and that's, and those, and one of the things that we need to preface all of this through is that we gotta make sure that we make in our advertisements and in the opening statement for the meeting is, why are we here? We are here to gather information on what your vision of the future for the town of Searsport is. You know, we don't need to know why it's your vision. You know, you don't need to hear all the history of, you don't want me to stand up in that meeting and start telling you about the history since I was born in 1945, about the basis for why this should be my vision for the town of Searsport. Nobody cares about that. All we care about is, where do you think the town should be going in the future?
I think, and I'm sorry to belabor
No,
this,
no,
but
no.
I think she, in a phone call or whatever, this is Searsport. We know Searsport. She does not know Searsport.
Right.
I think there's a danger of people who I know will be coming to meetings, that this turn into a complaint session. She's got to be aware of that and control that, because this is not what we're looking for. And I can see that happen.
But I think we also discovered that as a committee, that that's not the kind of vision we want to conduct. We want to collect information that is a vision and none of this other stuff. And that's what we as a group ferreted out here with all this.
And
Saying,
then
you know,
the rest of
as they were
the
proposed and
rest of
otherwise.
the process of writing and reviewing with the public the comprehensive plan, once we've agreed on a vision, addresses those, okay, how are we going to get there? And that's, even that, at the comprehensive plan level is fairly broad. It's not, and then as you get down closer, then you get into the ordinances and the plans and all that other stuff.
And for that very reason, her poster statement here, I think we need a statement saying, what's your vision for the future of Searsport? We don't need help guide the efforts to support economic development, planning, and growth in our community. It's
Also, you want to get
way
the
too-
red off of there too. You want to put that in red. You want that in nice leisurely blue or something.
Yeah.
But,
True.
Yeah.
Red is a bad
alarmist
thing to
color.
put on a flyer.
Yeah,
It has psychological,
but to me, that statement just was asking for would not give people
No,
reading
you're
the
right,
poster why we want them to come.
keep it simple and
That's-
get,
that's not
and
the reason
say
why we're
what we
having
mean
this.
and mean what we say.
Yeah.
That's not,
This is not the reason we're having these 4 visioning meetings.
we're trying to establish you said it.
And it's too specific about economic
Yeah,
development.
well, I mean.
It's a lot of
yeah.
other things.
We need a simple statement that says, we need you to help us envision what you want Searsport to
Establish
look like. A vision for the future of Searsport,
Establish
period.
That's it,
For the future.
right? That's what we're trying to do.
Like every once in a while, I'd get a good boss and they'd walk in the door and they'd say, "What do you plan on doing, what are you gonna be doing in 5 years? What are you gonna be doing in 10 years? And then we'll talk about whether or not we're gonna get there." And some of it was
We'll
job
know
interview
when we do
stuff.
get there.
Some of it was job interview stuff, and then you said what you wanted to be doing in 5 years and 10 years, and it wasn't related at all to the business they were running, they'd say, "See you later."
Okay, so we should think about.
And while I'm on the subject of posters, and I'll get off my soapbox,
No, go ahead.
I do not understand why we would want to pay her and somebody else to come to Searsport and run around town passing out posters.
Yeah.
Well, as
I mean,
you
we
know,
have a
I was against that
limited-
last week. I didn't
We
say
have
it
a
right.
limited budget and.
No.
that-
We'll take care of
That's a waste of their time
Well, it is.
and our money.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we have a very limited budget, and we agreed last week to spend a big chunk.
That
of
was
it
never in
to
the
do
cards.
survey, so,
That was never a part of the conversation.
anyway, I'll keep saying.
And, no, that's a good, very good point. Because they don't know where to put them.
The survey that we have now, is that the survey that you want sent out to in the mail to the residents? Not the polling thing, but the survey.
Yeah, I think that needs to stay as similar to the, what we put out online.
Is there any problem with what we put out online?
I had
Have-
sent you a couple of things.
Have you fixed it?
As far as I know, I have.
Okay.
George, because I haven't been online. I don't know that my wife has yet.
Bear with me.
I just had noticed a couple of just really typo things. We didn't have,
There's a couple of different versions too of that, so we're gonna get a fresh one probably.
yeah, but, and I think the fresh one is after he, fixed it. But there were a couple that we had two unsatisfactory and no satisfactory. I mean, they were just typo
Why don't you
things.
pass
Yes.
this around? They're the ones that are, people are picking up the library here.
Yeah, well, we don't want to keep changing that too
No,
much.
well, I,
mean,
Yeah, send another one this way.
asking you if
Right.
they're the questions.
Do one of those too.
What do you
We
need?
want
More
them-
than enough. There we go. There, you got one right there.
Do you have enough?
No, right there. Good.
Okay. Do you want me to print the one that's online while you folks are looking at that?
No, I don't think
No.
that's an issue, Josh.
Okay.
I think what's online is fine.
Yeah, I think
Um,
so.
Well, okay, you did fix question 5 that said quality of life has improved, stayed the same, and declined, and the one that was online didn't have a decline in it.
Right.
Yeah, that's why I said there were just a couple of,
I'll share with you my wife's reaction when she got online to do this. With when I was in the meeting, I said, some of this stuff that's in question 3 ought to be in question 4. And that was her initial reaction, was that. And then, I don't know if she said when she got through the whole thing, she kind of got over it. But
yeah. Well, as I said, I don't think we want to be changing this. I
No.
think the things that were a little bit confusing have been fixed, and we need to stick with this. We've already got 35 or so back.
There's 100 ways to do this.
Yeah.
And this is fine, I think.
Yeah,
Okay, as long as you don't see. any-
Yeah, I don't want to change it.
yeah.
Okay.
I think that's important because,
Now, my last thing, I don't want to change anything in the survey, but is this date going to be realistic?
No, we'll probably have to change it.
Yeah, I think we should pick a new date, because that isn't going to be realistic.
No,
I
we're
mean,
going-
we're already up to the 12th, and she hasn't even
Right.
started doing this yet, so.
Right. What do you want to do?
December 1st? Do you think that's still maybe?
No, it's
It's Still too
Do you wanna
soon.
do the end of December? Or is that-
What, you mean for collecting these things?
Well, for getting
yeah,
them
for this
back.
for the back page, rather than the 25th of November.
Well, in fact, we don't even, if she's going to send these out from EMDC with a stamped envelope for them to come back to EMDC, we don't even need that statement. Do we?
Well, you know, I guess, I don't know. I think you do because you lose a sense of
Yeah.
getting it done. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, here,
I think there has to be an
put it
end
with the
game.
rest of the bills, we'll get to it later, right?
Hey, the other thing, I don't wanna go too far back, but there's, in the bold up here, it says, in 2015, 88 residents attended the annual town meeting and
That's
set
what
the
Harry-
direction that's been the decision of the town. Were you one? I wonder if that's, you know, if you're one, then you get to fill this out, but if you don't, you know what I mean? That's a little, I can't quite tie that all together.
Okay, I put that in there. Harriet
Okay.
told me that there were 88.
Okay, you got that right.
Were you one?
Look like 288 to me.
I don't know.
I don't know, but anyway,
It just upsets
it's just drawing your attention to how many people are involved in
That's
it.
what it was for. It just upsets me that we get all the complaints, yet were you one of those 88 that really, you know, about budget and everything else?
Yeah.
Don't complain if you're not there to
Right.
raise your hand. If you
Yeah, I
weren't one of the
can live with that.
88s,
You've been to too many selectmen meetings, George.
no, I'm sorry.
No, I had this same conversation with my loggers, or they had it with me this afternoon, standing in my field. Saying, I go vote, I go out, I go to town meeting, pay my taxes. He said, if I don't do that, I got no right to bitch.
Yeah.
How would you change that?
Well, I don't know, I just wonder if, because, well, first said, if you were one of those 88, you get to fill this thing out, and if you weren't,
That
No, I
wasn't
know.
my intention.
Oh, no, I didn't take it that way.
I don't read it that way. either,
okay.
no.
It's just me, my dyslexia that.
No, I,
No.
no.
No, I read it,
that way.
I read it just how George meant it, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, you know.
As long as you all think it's going over that way with people, that's
yeah,
fine, yeah.
Yeah,
So-
that's-
And I think it's a good point.
I think it is a very good point.
So what are we going to do about the return statement?
Oh, I think we have to change it and change.
Is there any reason to have it earlier than the end of the year, George?
No. I think December.
I don't know whether I showed you folks this. The town Facebook page. 864 people
Yeah.
saw my post.
Wow.
Okay. Saw that. 800. See where it says?
Wow.
Right, yeah.
864 people saw that.
And that was the post.
And you
about-
didn't call anybody a name?
And 32 of them responded,
35.
35.
864.
Well, of course,
Now, they're not all Searsport
no, I was
residents.
gonna say, a lot of people might have looked at the
Right.
page that,
Maybe half of them were.
Wow.
Even if half of them were.
yeah, you still should have got.
Yeah, so that refines that 88 number, actually. It gets right back to it.
Yep.
Yeah, it does.
I can't see.
Yeah, that's good.
You know, and, you know, I was thinking about putting another, I don't know whether you guys saw that or not, but putting another.
Do you think that out of the 800,
Oh, yeah, that's.
864, half of, I mean, how many do you think would be out of town, or?
I have no idea.
Well, this is
Yeah.
it, you can't tell.
I
But even-
just
even if-
suspected
Even
it
if it's half
isn't
of
a
them,
I
bar.
was gonna say even a quarter of
Quarter of
them.
them.
still
Yeah.
isn't enough.
I don't think whatever number we might speculate, it's still, wow.
But that means it's somewhere out there, 864 people clicked on that when they saw that. That's
But some
participation.
people might,
That's right.
some people might be reluctant to do a survey online because you do have to kind
Could
of
be,
have a little
yeah.
bit of knowledge about how to
Well-
wade your way through it and so forth. But if they get it in the mail and it's the same survey, we'll get more out.
I'll show you this
We
one.
may get the same 35
There's-
over again.
Watch the selectmen's meeting. 28 people saw it.
To your point, people came to the last selectmen's meeting, or the one before, and brought that question up, can you figure out my email?
Yes, yeah.
And do a.
Yeah, was it really anonymous? Yes, I saw that.
Yeah, it wasn't really anonymous, and you can do a hard copy.
Yeah,
Then you gotta do a hard copy.
yeah.
You saw the hard copies. There's no place on there.
Right.
that anybody's email.
No. But there again, it's because everyone doesn't understand technology to the same
Sure.
level, so.
Yeah.
So we're gonna make this December 31st?
Is that what you wanna do?
I think so. And is it still gonna say return them to the town office of the library, or they're gonna go back to EMDC, aren't they?
Yeah, the ones that are sent out, but I'll change the ones that we leave on the front
Oh,
counter
that's right. 'cause
and the
we-
ones
yeah,
in the library
Right, I was forgetting that,
to the end of December,
Yeah.
okay?
yeah. And then she'll have to make a statement on here.
Well, I don't know whether, I'll have to call her. I don't know whether we're supposed to print them or just,
I thought when she left here, she was going to
No,
do
I thought
everything.
that
She
too.
was going to
Yeah.
print, she
That's
was
what she
going to
said.
mail, she was gonna get them back and.
All
go
she
back.
needed was the labels, and she would send them the next day.
yeah,
You sent the
George,
labels
George's
the next
help
day?
and Harry's
Yeah.
help.
I'll give her a call.
Wow, next day.
Hey, we're,
But
We'll do anything the
we're
next
also
day.
going to end up paying, I figured it out, probably close to $1,400 of our budget to have that happen. She sends it out and then gives everybody a stamped addressed envelope to get it back.
She said that's already covered.
It's coming out of our budget. There's nowhere in our budget contract with her does it say anything about mailing.
I know, I agree.
That's why I was
She
so
said-
shocked she even said that.
She said it's
Is she
covered.
really wrong though, and we're gonna get stuck with the bill? Because we have a contract.
Yeah.
If it isn't, doesn't matter what she said here.
She won't, I believe that EMDC will not sock us with an additional bill, but we have to understand that's coming out of what we've got.
That's right.
And we're talking about food for meetings, and we're talking about,
That's right.
other things, and we just have to
I,
understand.
I was really
Might have to eat
baffled by
hamburger
her
instead of
statement.
steak this
So
week.
was I, remember I asked
Yeah,
her twice.
I think
to
we all were.
explain that?
Frankly.
Hamburger's more expensive than steak.
Can we pin her down and just say, and refer to the contract?
Yeah,
The selectmen will only deal with that contract.
I know.
Well, as I
She's
said,
not gonna-
We
They're not
we don't wanna
gonna
get in a
pay.
mess here.
I don't envision that there's gonna be any more money going their way, but there's nothing in this contract that says anything about doing a mailing at
that's right.
$1,400 plus
I'll
minus.
get James, but James has already talked to her boss, and her boss called back.
Said yes?
No,
No, okay.
didn't talk about that, other things. Okay. I'll get him to call and make sure, because I don't wanna do it that way unless it's in that contract.
There's
If that's the
nothing in
final
this
figure,
contract
I
that
think
says
the
anything about
selectmen will
doing
have a
a
very
survey.
hard time paying another 1,400.
It's not gonna.
I'm not saying they wouldn't, but
No, they're gonna say the bottom line is the bottom line.
Yeah,
and it's
that's what
coming
the
out of
bo-
that
no, that's what we're gonna
Well, and
say.
they're saying that too, and if we exceed the bottom line, they're still gonna give us the whole product?
Isn't that what she said?
That's what she said. That it's.
I don't know how
I
that's
thought
gonna
we
happen.
went,
We're not gonna pay.
just to back up from the beginning, when we were talking to another person and made all these promises and then found out none of them are true, that gives me pause, because does she have authority to speak about such matters? And I'm gonna guess she doesn't. I'll leave that up to you,
We'll
George.
get that clarified.
Thank you.
If not, we'll end up doing it, man, really,
Well,
we have to.
I,
Because
Despite-
you got all the information, you have all the
I've got it
information.
all right here.
I think it's a good way.
And if we print them ourselves and send them out and have drop boxes around town for people to get them back, or however, say we'll pick them up, we can do it for about $275 for the mailing, plus it's gonna cost us time and money to print. I mean, paper and everything else, and it certainly would be very much easier for all of us not to come up here and stand at the copying machine
Oh, yeah,
and
no, I
collate
agree.
copies and so forth, but we just have to understand that it's gonna come out of that $8,999.
I got confused in the middle of that last meeting. Did she actually state that it was in the contract? Because it isn't.
No, no,
No, I don't
She
think
said
she
she's
actually, she said it
covered,
would be
though.
covered.
yeah. With the money that,
I'm, okay,
Yeah,
we'll leave it
she-
at, I'll leave it at that. I'm missing something if it's covered, but it's not in the contract.
And I don't understand, when Steve was talking last week about doing it for $175 or something,
he must be.
I don't know what he's.
I don't know what he was talking about. I do know that someone else was at the post office asking for the same information on behalf of this committee, in addition to myself, so.
Weren't me.
Weren't me.
I know who it was, but
I
Okay,
got too much other problems in life to worry about that.
anyway.
moving on, I guess. I did tell you that I did talk to Chris, and he said he'd have a table in the vestibule for this parent-teacher thing. Somebody told me that those you can probably answer, those teachers conferences are only for students that are having problems. Is that true?
I don't know how they schedule them anymore. When I was in administration, we scheduled a parent conference with every tried to have a conference with every parent.
Yep.
For two reasons. Number one, it's nice to be able to meet with
Put
a
a
parent
face
that you
on the
can say,
name or
yeah,
something.
you know, I'm your kid's teacher and, you know, they're doing great and that's wonderful. And the other thing is that it keeps so that, oh, your parent's gotta go to a conference, you must be in trouble.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So
no,
Right.
you schedule,
I know, in my kids in school, we went to parent-teacher nights.
yeah, but.
There's at least one a year for every grade they were in.
Yep, and I'm assuming that that is still the case, although I'm not sure. Maybe they, I mean, with the
No.
student loads the way they are now, I wouldn't think that it would be so onerous that they couldn't schedule them with all parents, but.
I think that's the way it is, George, but
Yeah.
you could ask the superintendent.
Yeah, I can ask him. That's why I was hoping to reach maybe 100 people at least, parents,
Yep.
between the two, the seniors and the juniors. I'll probably
So on the
be there,
19th
you know, if somebody wants to volunteer to,
I can help on the 19th, after 4 o'clock.
I can help during the day.
okay.
Or
And
When-
I could do a little time on it.
And I'll be there with you, so, you know, you
oh,
can
okay.
walk around or whatever.
And I wouldn't mind, you know, doing a couple of hours on the Friday. But I can do the Thursday from 4 to,
Okay.
Oh, it says Thursday, 5:30 to 7:30 and 3 to 5.
well,
Right.
would you rather have me just do the 5:30 to 7:30?
George,
Whatever you want,
All right,
that's fine.
I'll do
I can
5.
work around anybody.
I can work around. Right now, looking at my schedule, I can work around any of those time frames.
All right, I'll do 5:30 to 7:30 on the 19th.
And Doug will be in at 3:30, you think? Okay, Bud, do you want to do Friday? Is that possible, Friday morning?
You
Want me
know,
to do-
actually, either one of the other two would be easier for me, because I'm not really a morning person. I can
Okay.
be there at 8:30 in the morning, but
Well, I
my
was just
brain
gonna
will
say,
show up a
I
little
could do,
later.
I could do 8:30 to 9:30 if you wanted to. 'Cause I'm,
5:30 to 7:30. I can, either one of the two Friday time frames would work for me.
all right, then take 5:30 to 7:30, and I'll do the 8:30 to 11:30 on Friday. Because I can sit there and
So
knit,
that's,
I can sit there and knit and pass out surveys. All right, so I'll do 8:30.
You won't have time to knit.
You think? I'll be busy gabbing.
no, this,
That's Thursday and Friday, right?
Yes,
Thursday the 19th and Friday
Friday's
the
the
20th.
20th. So I'll do the 8:30 to 11:30 Friday morning,
Yeah, because that's before my kids come out.
okay?
Okay,
And
and
this
I'll
is
be there
gonna be,
also.
and the table will be all set up
Okay.
because you'll have done it the night before,
Yeah.
okay? This Friday's a good, I just agreed today to pick up another day at the museum
Oh,
through the winter months, so I'll be doing Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday,
mm,
but that's all right. Keeps me off street corners.
What do you do in the winter?
What do I do in
In
the
the,
winter?
anything?
I work in the photo archives, so
Oh, okay.
we were going all the time.
okay, does anybody have anything else they want to bring up?
So we don't actually have a date.
No, what do you want to do?
For the-
No, we don't. Not until, Chris,
Yeah, I think we have to wait, and probably he'll have to name it. We'll go along with it, I guess, pretty
But we-
much.
were you gonna try and find out, when the North, Station, or Community Center would be available?
Oh. I
Yes,
probably
you
said
were.
that, but I probably
You
haven't.
did say that.
I probably said that, but I haven't done it.
Was that the second one we wanted, or?
I think so.
I think we were gonna try to do the school and North Searsport before Christmas and the other two after.
After, yeah.
I've got, I'll try to remember first thing.
Whatever nights of the week someone else isn't using it, I mean,
Yeah.
What's tomorrow? Tomorrow is Friday the 13th.
Oh, we ought to hit that before the weather gets too bad. Sooner rather than later, I would think.
North Searsport,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes, good idea.
and I mean, if North Searsport's available and the school hasn't come up with a date yet, we can flip.
I was thinking that,
Yeah.
actually.
We could flip them, I mean, it doesn't,
I've got a thing in to call Nora Staples tomorrow.
Okay.
'Cause I got told that he is the guy
he takes care of the building up there.
takes care of the building up there and he's the right guy to make. I was gonna talk to Waldina and Dean, but they said Norris is probably the better one to talk to. Cause I also wanna talk to him about the potential use of that as a warming center
Yeah, that's a good idea.
for the emergency plan.
What do you want to do about the next meeting for us? It depends.
Leave it open.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna
When
get
is
back.
our,
We don't want to set a meeting if we don't,
Why
till
don't
we need one.
Right. Why don't we wait to hear from Bud? I'll do a couple things. Send her a list of the questions we want. Have James find out about this mailing thing from someone other than Vicky that's in command and can make that decision up there. And if I hear anything from Chris about when we can do the visioning statement meeting, whatever you want to call it, at the school, I'll let you know on email.
Yep, that makes sense.
George, I've actually told some people we're doing a mailing, so if it doesn't happen with them, we're gonna do it anyway, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, we've got
Yeah,
to do
okay.
the mailing.
Right, okay.
But if things are not at the MDC the way it appears at the moment that they are, and we end up doing it ourselves, and that means that we're gonna have to come up here and stand and make copies. They're gonna have to be folded and taped, and get a check and take them to the post office.
you might wanna talk to Brenda Corbin or somebody over there at that does our mailer every year, because what we found is that it was cheaper for Barney Hose to, when we have our copies printed, they print them and fold them, and we stuff the envelopes.
You
And
pay
put the
somebody to
stamps
print
on.
them.
Yeah, we pay to print, and they can tell you what the cost per copy is for having them printed and folded.
And Brenda has that information?
Brenda's probably the best person to talk to about that, because she was the treasurer at the time we were doing it, so.
Do you want me to
Go ahead if you can.
spend a little bit of extra time and check with her against the fact that we might end up doing them ourselves?
Yeah.
I don't mind doing that.
Are you gonna see her?
I'll find her. Not this weekend, but,
Well, that's fine.
'cause I have to get ready.
So why don't we leave the meeting up in the air, and you can call the meeting as
Okay.
we need it.
Is that satisfactory? that-
Yes, I think
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Is there something I'm forgetting that I should be doing? Just
I
those
don't
two
think so. I
things?
think just getting her on our page with those questions and making sure that if they are gonna do the mailing, which would be the simplest thing for all of us, I
Oh,
agree.
yeah.
But we just have to understand
That's part
where
of
the
that
money's
contract
coming from.
price,
I just think she very well might be mistaken.
yeah. If it's not in writing,
Yeah. Not in
It
that
doesn't
contract.
include a mailing.
right.
Does not say it.
And it doesn't, it's not in the contract. We've established that.
No, because I've got the contract right here.
Okay? Well, thank you very much.
All right?
Thank you, George. I appreciate keeping the meeting short and sweet.